Welcome, graduates. Families and friends of Presidio Graduate School, welcome board members and faculty and staff and alumni and partners. Welcome to our commencement exercises. Please be seated. I'm William Shutkin, president of the Presidio Graduate School, and delighted to be here today. We are now officially opening the 7th annual commencement of the MBA program in Sustainable Management and the 2nd annual commencement of the MPA in Sustainable Management. And I should add, we are doing this on the weekend of the occasion of the 75th anniversary of that wonderful bridge just here to the northwest, the Golden Gate Bridge. What great timing, graduates. Before we begin, let me just remind you to please turn off all cell phones and other devices that make funny noises during these important, august exercises. Before we begin officially, let me introduce the key members of the Presidio community, the members outside of the students who make our community real, make it vital, make it alive. And I'd ask you to please hold your applause until I've introduced each of these important groups. First, if I could, I'd like to introduce the Presidio Graduate School Board of Directors. Presidio directors, will you please rise? A particular thanks to our co-founders in Stephen Swig, and of course, Richard M. Gray. Next, our distinguished, esteemed faculty colleagues. Faculty, will you please rise? And then finally, our terrific and dedicated staff who are scattered around the room and have made today's events possible. Thanks to each and every one of you. A few brief remarks. Now, being the classics major that I once was, I'm really tempted not to read a poem, but to say a couple of things in Latin because, well, it's just the occasion. And when you dress like this, Latin, well, it's okay. So I'll sort of start off with Decani ad professoris familiae et amici atque omnes gradum de Presidio salvete. But that's really old school. And we're very new school at Presidio Graduate School. So heartfelt thanks in English to all of you for your support, your ideas, your enthusiasm in this first year of my tenure as your president. It's been a busy year, to be sure, full of activity and of change and of promise, and it's been a true honor to work with you, our students, our faculty, our board, our staff, our partners, and especially, I shall mention, Alliant International University, our accrediting partner, and my colleague, Jeff Cox. It's been a privilege for me to work with each and every one of you these past 9 months. And a special thanks to you, our graduating students. You're such a great class. You're also a really large class for Presidio, and you set a high bar, so we will miss you and feel your absence. I've been fortunate to get to know many of you, although sitting here before during our rehearsal, I saw faces I had yet to see, and that's what's exciting about a large community, meeting new people all of the time. But I can picture many of you at 36 Lincoln hanging out, seemingly studying, though I was never quite sure. I saw you in office hours, at residency, occasionally shopping in between classes, and I really enjoyed getting to know you. I'll mention just a couple of names, not because they're particularly special, though they are, but because they're a proxy for all of you and the kinds of people and the kinds of character that each of you represents. Lauren Ray, John Leonard, Josh Newman, other student leaders, and all of you who so well represent this school, who so ably demonstrate what our virtues and our principles are all about. I dare say I even recall the dance-off with a little bit of delight, though the wig was perhaps problematic. I decided to leave it home for today. My regret is we didn't have more time together. It's been a fast 9 months. There are so many of you and so little of me. But you've inspired me, you've challenged me, and reminded me and all of us on this platform, by way of your ideas and your energy, why we're here and why I'm here. And let me simply say that indeed we and you are propelling Presidio forward. You are propelling us forward. And please note that we have recently launched a fundraising campaign on that same theme of propelling Presidio. And now that you will soon be alumni in about, 45 minutes, we invite you to continue to participate in the life of this school, not just with financial resources, but your energy, your ideas, your enthusiasm, the same things you have been doing and bringing to this school since you matriculated 2, 4, in some cases 8 years ago. So having made that plug for this school and propelling it forward, let me quickly turn to our values as a way of a concentrated commencement speech before we hear from our featured commencement speaker. And I want to describe 2 Presidio values among the list of several in our strategic plan. And those 2 values are critical thinking and collaboration. We at Presidio define critical thinking as cultivating rigorous questioning and healthy dialogue, as eschewing dogma and rigid ideologies. Collaboration we describe as openly and thoughtfully engaging diverse stakeholders to collectively align business and public policy, and to encourage our own Presidio community to see itself as a dynamic but united network, co-evolving a new society and a new economy grounded in a deep respect for nature and all humankind. These are really big words, and they're big ideas, but they boil down to a simple fact: that ours is a world in which it is no longer sufficient to hew to one set of fixed ideals or outlooks, no longer enough to stick to one's own tribe, institution, or sector. It's a both-and world, where to make a meaningful difference, to leave this planet and its people in better shape than we found them, we must see across our ideas and our ideologies, must reach out to different groups and communities, must see the system as a whole and not just the parts. The MIT engineering professor Woody Flowers puts it this way: learning the parts is training, while understanding and being creative about the whole requires education. And isn't that what we as educators aspire to do at Presidio, and what each of you as Presidio graduates soon to be brings into the world? A deeper understanding and creativity about the whole, about the system, and not just the parts. At a time of intense polarization in politics and society, of fractured groups and red and blue states, of partisan posturing, this is no easy task, but it is the work we need to do. As masters of sustainable business and public administration, as seers and explainers of the system, you, more than any others, our graduates, can help bridge the divide, not only among our worldviews and institutions, but, given your particular skills, between business and society, between market values and civic values, between the I and the we. As the Harvard philosopher Michael Sandel has put it in his latest book, What Money Can't Buy: The Moral Limits of Markets, we have drifted, he writes, from having a market economy to becoming a market society, where market values govern every sphere of life, crowding out civic practices. You, our graduates, embody the hope, the proposition, the practice that when commerce and the common good are aligned, when for-profit and for-benefit come together, when the individual and the collective are given equal weight, magical things can happen. New worlds can be born, more just, more prosperous, more sustainable. As a former hockey player, I'm partial to the wisdom of toothless left-wingers. And those of you following the playoffs will know that a certain team called the New York Rangers is still alive, at least through tonight. And one of my favorite from back in the day, all 18 years ago, the last time the Rangers won the Stanley Cup, Adam Graves recently said, when asked about winning that cup in '94, he said, "Anything that is worth attaining is always difficult. Doesn't matter what you're doing." And so, in saluting each of you as soon-to-be Presidio alum, I want to acknowledge and also celebrate the challenge of the work that is ahead of you, the difficult work that is worth doing, the work that this school was uniquely designed, like none other in the world, to prepare you to undertake. And so I urge you, seek to see the system, to connect the dots, to bridge the gaps, to heal the wounds, and to change the world. Gratulatio omnis gradum de Presidio. Congratulations, Presidio graduates. Thank you.